section. Good evening. You all look beautiful. I want to welcome you to our 20th Legacy Ball. Thank you so much for your continued support. We'll be starting momentarily. And as the pre-recorded show plays for all of those folks that are enjoying this virtually, I want to go ahead and bless the food now, as we will be eating very shortly. So if we could, please. Heavenly Father, Most High God, we thank you so very much for this evening. We thank you for each and every person that you have allowed to arrive here safely. We thank you for the occasion. We thank you for Quality Education Academy and how you have had your hand on this place since its inception in 1992. Lord, we ask a special blessing over the food that we're about to receive. We ask that you bless the hands that prepared it. We ask that you nourish us in our body, that we can go on and be good on this country. And we just ask for continued blessing over Quality Education Academy. We ask all of this in the name of your own living God, Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Oh.
Evening, friends of Quality Education Academy. Welcome to Legacy. Thank you so much for your continued support of our legacy in education. We truly consider it a blessing to be able to host our 20th Legacy Gala in this, our 30th year of existence as a school. Wow. Being able to be one of the original 34 charters in our state is an honor. But now, we are one of only 19 public charter schools in North Carolina that are still operating since the first year of charters in our state. 30 years is a long time to sustain anything, especially an organization that is for us, by us, and filled with us. In a day and age when politics has become nastier than ever and even violent, being culturally responsive has been a real challenge. But we stand strong knowing that children who know themselves and love themselves will strive to be their best selves in everything they do, from academics to civic engagement. We will push this amazing legacy that we have built up and inherited into the future through events such as this annual fundraiser, Legacy. If you have given, consider giving again. Consider becoming a monthly giver. Consider encouraging a colleague to give. You are playing a huge role in sustaining and extending our beautiful legacy. So again, welcome to our 20th Legacy. Sit back and enjoy our program.
Lift every voice and sing till let the heaven ring. Ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high in the listening skies. Let it resound out of the rolling sea. Sing a song full of faith that the darkness has taught us. Sing a song full of
Teachers, please repeat after me. As a professional educator,
I commit myself to fully engage my students in learning and the pursuit of excellence.
I will fuel the lamp of enlightenment for all my students each day.
in order to accomplish this,
I will first engage myself as a lifelong learner.
And the pursuit of excellence is a way of life.
Good evening. We are grateful to have you here with us today. Fearlessly to make this event special for all. Even as we continue adjusting to life amid a pandemic, we know the importance of continuing this program. So congratulations to our 2021 Legacy honorees. You are joining an elite group of legends who have been honored in the past. Your legacy will live on in the lives of QES scholars for years to come. Thank you again for being with us tonight, and please enjoy the remainder of our program.
Hello, my name is Tony Howard, the high school leader. And I just want to take a moment to say thanks for creating such a strong legacy. We will not let you down, and we really, truly want to thank you for all you've done and all you continue to do. We know that this legacy will last forever. Thank you.
Thank you for the generosity. We appreciate your giving.
Hello, my name is Marcos Suarez, Director of Federal Programs and Compliance for Quality Education Academy. And on behalf of our English language learners and students with disabilities, we would like to thank you for your contribution and donation to our legacy program. Gracias.
From the QEA Varsity Boys Basketball Team, we truly appreciate your giving. QEA 30 years strong.
I am Bernice Roberts, a high school curriculum facilitator and 21st Century Community Learning Center Program Director. I have been at QEA for 11 years, and I would like to say thank you. Thank you for your continued support of our school and legacy.
Representing the largest 4-H branch of color in Forsyth County. We appreciate all of your support. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am Mrs. Booth Horton, counselor at Quality Education Academy. I've been a part of the QEA family since 2004. I hope that everyone have a great evening and enjoy the legacy. And we thank you and appreciate your support throughout all these years.
From the QEA Senior Crosby Scholars, we thank you so much for helping us throughout these years.
Good evening, everyone. I am Monica Ross, the high school exceptional children's teacher. I've been employed with Quality Schools for 17 years now. I would just like to personally thank you all for your continued support in our 20th annual legacy. Thank you again.
From the QEA Black Achievers, we thank you so much for your support and donations.
Good evening. My name is Angela Duran. I am one of the Dean of Students for Quality Education Academy. I have been working here for 7 years, and I just want to say thank you for all the donations and the support that you give to Quality Education Academy. Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Ángela Durán y solamente quiero darle las gracias por todas las donaciones y el apoyo hacia nuestra escuela. Gracias.
Good evening. I am Tia Wanda Piper, and I am the Staff Accountability and Curriculum Development Coordinator here at Quality Education Academy. I've been here for a little over a year. Good evening. My name is Shatila Rooks, and I am the School Improvement Plan Coordinator here at Quality Education Academy, and I have been here for 16 years. And we from the Office of School Improvement and Compliance would like to thank all of our supporters of Quality Education Academy and our legacy. Thank you for the support.
Hi, my name is Devin Woodruff, and I'm the sports director here at Quality Education Academy. We'd like to thank you for your contributions to the Legacy program and to the legacy that you are leaving behind for many, many more students and many, many more teachers and athletes to come. Thank you so much for your contribution.
A few of our fellow Farrell scholars were able to help widow Mrs. Davis, who lived just a couple of minutes away from our campus, pack up her husband's extensive home library. Mrs. Davis honored Mr. Davis's request to bequeath part of his library to his former employer, Winston-Salem State University, and some of it to QEA. QEA scholars were able to join a class in the history of black people in Winston-Salem and were able to hear Mr. Davis tell us some fascinating facts about our community. We are thrilled to be able to honor the late Mr. Lenwood Davis with a memorial mini library, the Davis Stacks, from his widow.
Davis, of course, taught at Winston State University for over 20-some years. He retired. He died like a year ago, and he wanted his books to go to his alma mater, which is North Carolina Central University. And then we had some left over, and Quality Education was so kind to come help take some of the books to help their library. He's written over 30-some books. He was known as the world's most prolific bibliographer. He would always say, I have forgotten more history than most people know, which is probably the truth.
In a time when there are new laws against teaching all of our country's history, QEA's legacy continues. We are proud to be one of the very few culturally responsive school systems in the state and country. One of our mission-specific outcomes is to engender pride in each and every scholar's indigenous cultures. We know scholars are very proud of their ancestry and legacy, and they are continuing to develop high esteem and achieve more in school and life. Here's what some staff and scholars share about their legacy and cultural pride.
I'm proud to be black because it makes me feel like a strong black little girl, and it encourages myself because I know I'm beautiful, I know I'm gorgeous, and that's what my mom tells me every night.
I am a proud Latina because it is a very unique culture.
I love being black because black is amazing and it looks good on you, and black has an amazing shine to it, and that's why I love it.
I'm proud to be black because it's a culture of the soul that's been embedded within. Somebody from another race can be your next to your kin. You see, Martin Luther King said he had a dream that black and white people can be living in unity. We forget we live in that dream today, so I pay homage for those that paved the way.
I am proud to be Latina porque tenemos sabor, calor y tenemos la mejor comida de todo el mundo.
I'm proud to be black because my ancestors fought for our freedom and we still are today, because what happened at the Capitol Hill was pretty severe, but we're working on it right now to make our world a better place.
I'm proud to be black because we're not afraid to stand up for ourselves.
Well, I'd rather say why I'm proud to be black. Because we are such a diverse culture, so aware, and plus the food and the music is better on this side.
We have a school for mostly black people, and we don't have to be racist. We don't have to act racist.
I'm proud to be
be a Latina because we are the happiest people in the world.
I'm proud to be Black because I'm an African American king, and I'm grateful for everything I have in my life, and I'm just glad to be my color.
Okay, so I'm proud or happy to be African American because of the diversity in our culture and the unpredictability we possess as African Americans. You never know what you're going to get.
I'm proud to be Latino porque a mí me gusta que esta cultura es muy diverse, and that it is widespread throughout the entire world.
Black is amazing because all of the history that we got and how many products that we made.
I love being Black because no matter what obstacles I face, still I rise with resilience and grace. And this is not only my testimony, but it is also the testimony of my ancestors. The trials may come, but still we rise.
The reason why I love being Black is because we have so many of history to reflect on. Like, we'll still be uneducated if it wasn't for people that was brave enough to stand up and use their voice.
Proud to be a Latina because of our culture. You know, the family gets together and we gather with big groups, we dance, sing, and our food is the best.
I am thinking that I love to be Black because I love the legacy that my Black folks have left me. I love the rich history that we have. I love that I come from a line of resilient people. We are fighters. We have overcome so many things, and I love that I'm a part of that history.
I'm proud to be African American because of the food and the culture.
I like being Latina because I love to sing, and us people have a lot of pride in our culture.
I'm proud to be Black because Africa is the best continent.
When I speak, I don't just speak, my ancestors speak. And what I'm most proud of, I think, is that I bring them so much joy. And because that's my hope, that every piece of cotton that they picked, every whip that they would stain, every time they were told no, that I am what they worked hard for.
Like, because God gave me this life and I need to spend it well. I'm proud to be Black because the people who've been in slavery escaped, and now that we're free, I'm proud to be Black. I'm proud to be Black because being Black has a lot of history behind it. And we rock.
I'm proud to be Black because we are the chosen ones.
I'm proud to be Black, and here's the reasons why. No one does it like us, from our culture, from our hair, from the melanin in our skin, to the way we speak, to the way we rap, to the way we sing, to the way we eat. Our soul is in our food. Come on now. These are the reasons why I'm so proud to be Black.
I'm proud to be Black because we have some of the best hair out.
The reason I love to be Black is because the uniqueness, my melanin, I love my skin color. It's just different. It glows in the sun. And like my culture is really what I love. If it wasn't for Black people, we wouldn't have most of the things we have in today's society. The uniqueness, the swag we have, we just different.
I'm proud to be African American because we are the underdog, so everybody looks at me different, so I can prove them all wrong.
I'm proud to be Black because the educated Black man or woman is the most feared thing on the planet.
I love being Latino because we have different types of food than others, and we have different language from others.
I love being Black because I am an unsung leader and I'm powerful.
I love to be Black because our melanin in our hair.
I'm proud to be Black for so many reasons. A huge reason is that we come from kings. We come from rulers of peace and of this world. The knowledge base that we have as a civilization from the beginning of time is incredible.
I love being Latina because of my culture.
I am proud to be Black because we are a magical people. So many people look at us and they see threat and hate and animals and all these negative things because they're really fearful of the power that we possess. We come from royalty, we are royalty, we're powerful, we mean something. So to be a part of something of that magnitude
Why else would you not be proud?
Proud to be black because the country was built off the sweat of our brow.
I'm proud to be black because I love spending time with people and that I can be myself.
I love that QEA. And we black and we proud.
Proud to be African American because we're the most athletic race.
I'm proud to be black because I am the offspring of the strongest human beings on the planet. The original human beings on the planet. The first chosen people of the planet. I am their offspring.
Getting black and brown scholars to take pride in something that is for us, by us, takes a lot. When we are growing up in a society that says black and brown is less than and nothing to be proud of, we use STEM or music or art or rap, anything to get our messages out. Organizations like QEA that build up black and brown communities here in the Triad are something to be treasured. They are something to be loved and protected. That's why we say, I love my QEA.
Hello! Hey, hello, turn me up.
Yeah. Mr. Fleming, turn me up. I love my QEA. I love my Q. 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 I love my QEA. I love my school. I love my school so much, I'm dressing up, I'm about to go handle my business. Dressing like a professional or the khaki dickies on my bottoms on Friday, I'm litty. I'm wearing black and white on Wednesdays. In the morning when I'm dressed for assembly. Free breakfast and lunch on my ribs, touching my stomach, I'm hungry, it's empty. Soul food, not eye candy. Classic men like Jadena. I go to school and I love it so much, I talk about it at dinner. I like to read, I like to write, and it's one thing I remember. I'ma get fives on all of my intercourse tests, and my grades, they make me a contender. A winner, I know I am, cause I show I can be the best of my grades. See my report card, don't look hard, cause you know it's all A's. Standing in the second block and I behave. Enrolling my brother today. 336-744-7138. Give him a call if you don't believe in what I say on this beat, cause, like, or you can just show up. 5012 D Lansing Drive, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, 27105. Yeah. I love my QEA. I love my Q. 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 I love my QEA. I love my school.
That is nowhere near how you want.
Hold up, let me on this track, Denzel. I can't wait, man, I gotta tell. Best kept secret of the khaki lack. Word getting out to the brown and black. If you love QEA, I adore it. Come on, take a tour. Let's explore it. Send it out, signal like sonar. Taking you from diapers to diplomas. Got them off the shirt with them stiff collars. Never seen so many black and brown scholars. We know Queen's English and Ebonics. Y'all love that culture. We just platonic code switching with the best of them. Try to school and all the rest of them. QEA culture, so litty. And some of these vultures gon' get it. Trying to copy the one and the only. I tried to. They probably lonely cause every place ain't like this one. Check our IG and like this one. Check our Facebook and see what's going on. See how we can put you on. If it takes a village to raise a child, man, QEA is the whole town taking care of everything that we need. We a self-sufficient community. Trust me, you wanna be a part of a place with so much soul and heart. Trying to sum it up, man, it's just too hard. It's too hard. You know what? I'ma just repeat this part.
I love my QEA. I love my Q. 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 I love my QT. Hey, I love my school.
The amazing honor of interviewing our very own Mr. James Luther Covington, Headmaster Emeritus of Quality Education Schools. Though we weren't able to capture all 40 minutes of our great conversation, we were able to glean just a few minutes of wisdom from our 91-year-old elder. Please listen and enjoy.
During my 91 years here on earth, I found that it's absolutely necessary to have compassion, concern, commitment, and dedication. All these things are connected to a long life and satisfaction. When you can say to yourself, and to your family, that you don't owe me anything, and that I'm most appreciative and very appreciative of living a lengthy life and expect to live as long as the Maker, and that's the Lord Jesus Christ, wants you here. So you don't think in terms of suicide, or you're angry with Joe Blow or anything else, or with society's cultures and things that you can't do anything about. Just pray for everybody and pray that it becomes, that it gets better. That's it.
Maybe, you know.
Well, just make sure that they continue to be able to identify what the difference between needs and desires. See, there are a number of people who feel that, that the desires come first and the needs last. See, but you'll soon find out with age that you need to set your priorities, and things can come to fruition. The man who plants the seed and continues to water it, to help it nourish, to grow, then you get good crops in. Same way with dealing with human beings.
Greetings. I am Caressa Gerald, and I am the granddaughter of Brother Mr. Coy Cecil Sr. I am thankful for this opportunity to talk a little bit about my grandfather and his vision for QEA, as well as the impact that QEA and QEI have made on the community. So I wanted to start by reading a quote that my grandfather actually said when he was interviewed one time about QEA and QEI. I want everyone to know QEA, QEI is striving to be one of the best schools it can possibly be. I want it to be recognized by the community. My grandkids went to QEI and QEA and have gone on to accomplish great things. That's what I always had in mind. And I am one of those grandchildren that went to QEA. I started when QEA actually first opened up, and I was one of the first students to come through straight through 6th, 7th, and 8th grade in middle school in QEA. I am thankful for all the opportunities that QEA gave me, including those assemblies every week that allowed me to get up and use my voice, which now I use every day as an assistant professor at NCCU. I am also thankful for learning the words to lift every voice and sing, to learn more about African Americans that have made a difference and basically, were trailblazers in their own rights that, of course, public schools would not teach us about. I'm also thankful for every single time that I had an African American teacher at QEA. Up until that point, I probably did not have many, maybe a couple, or maybe some teachers' assistants in elementary school. But at QEA, I ended up having every last one of my teachers actually be a minority. And I'm thankful for that opportunity to see people that look like me doing positive things in the community, being teachers, being educators. I want to say that this has really come full circle for me, especially with my grandfather's vision. What he mentioned in that quote was really a big deal. Education for minority communities is impactful and it needs to be present. And really great, strong education in African American communities has been lacking for many, many years. My grandfather was one of the first students at Southwestern Christian College, and he was one of the students that actually helped to name Southwestern. And I'm very thankful for his experience dealing with issues back then like segregation, understanding that all education was not equal, still is not equal, and that we should make a difference. I've really come full circle, like I mentioned a second ago, because I was a student at QEA, but I also came back to teach at QEA after I received my PhD. I thought it was really interesting to sit at a desk in a school that wasn't there a few years ago, because when I came through middle school, the high school was not yet in existence. But I actually sat at a desk in the high school, and I was like, wow, this is his vision, for people like me to actually educate our own children. And I thought that was fantastic that I had that opportunity to teach at QEA. After teaching at QEA, I actually went off, got a postdoc. But after my postdoc, I came back to NC and I began my assistant professorship at NCCU in Durham. And when I was at Durham, I made sure that I reached back to QEA, and I was actually able to host the QEA seniors, those high school seniors that, I could have been still teaching, but I reached back and I said, hey, you know what? Let's bring them down here to Central for a day. And Mrs. Booth Horton, as well as myself, coordinated an amazing, awesome day for the students to come down to Durham and to view the campus and to learn more about our programs and learn more about Central and Durham itself. So I really think I've really come full circle from being a student to teaching at teaching at QEA, and then also teaching at NCCU and inviting students to come back. I still come up for career fairs. Mrs. Booth Horton will say, hey, I'm on campus, or we have students down here, can you watch out for them, let them know, where you are and things like that. And I still, of course, do that. I come back up for career fairs to let students know about what we're doing here, college fairs, what's going on at NCCU. And so I'm very much thankful for the vision of Chloe Cecil, my papa, and what he has made for the community, what has done for me. And of course, he might not have seen all of that, and being a visionary, sometimes it's really difficult because the people around you might not quite understand it all. And I face that as well sometimes, being a visionary. Sometimes people around you don't recognize or see those things, or they think you're crazy. But to realize that, hey, it manifested itself into 3 schools and a great program for students to learn in their own communities and be taught by people that look like them, and for them to go off into college and to do great things and achieve jobs and get great careers going and start great families is amazing. And it really means that having those visions means you just have to put them in action. So I say this to say thank you for everyone that continues to make this vision a success and manifest everything that he was thinking of back in 30 or 40 years ago. I'm so thankful for the opportunities that QEA gave me, of course, as a student, as a teacher, and of course even now when I get to interact with the high school students or even the middle school students and so forth at the QEA schools. So thank you all for allowing me to just talk a little bit about my grandfather, Boy Cecil. Thank you.
Mr. Cecil, what was your role with QEI and QEA?
I wanted to build a school that touched the community in and around it. More so than just a church school without folk. I wanted to reach out into the community and touch other folk. I kind of remember Jesus in the Bible said he went about doing good. And if you don't reach out and touch other folk, you ought not to be confined to a building. And I built a school with that idea of helping out the community and giving them a good education.
You may have answered this in your last response, but just feel free to continue to elaborate. What was your vision for QEI?
I wanted to see them grow, and I wanted to see them reach out and touch the community and the people around us, and not just confined it to a church building.
Okay.
But just for church folk, it's for everybody.
Awesome. What motivated your decision to donate the land needed to build the school?
I looked at a couple of things when I donated, when we got the church to donate the land to build it. I did not want to leave something in a way that could get into problems. For instance, if the church failed, they could take the school and the church. If the school failed, they could take the school and the church. So I wanted them as separate entities, so that if one messed up, the other would still be there. We still owned it, we still owned the land on it. So it would not be a total disaster. And so that's one of the reasons why I had them donate the land and put it in the name of the school. Okay, I'm proud of the simple fact that we're doing exactly what I named it when we looked at it. And that was to see that it was something that would excel academically and help folk that were having problems. And just to give you a little background, even before we got the school going, I built the church building with all those exit doors on it so that it could house a school. But the school quickly got too big for it, and it needed to go somewhere else because it didn't have enough room. But that's why all the exits are on the side of that building, so they would meet the code. So everything there was right. And we wanted to see that it did what it was supposed to do, and that especially it helped black men and women.
Wow,
to be better people.
I mean, that's a demonstration of incredible foresight and full intention. I must commend you for that.
Thank you.
What are your hopes for the school in the future?
I'd like to see them continue to grow and make strides academically and athletically, so that it would be recognized and understood and accepted by our community and about the area around us and even by the state.
All right. And is there anything you wish you could have done during your tenure with the school that you look and hope for the school to continue in the future?
I wanted to see it expand so that it went all the way. When I started QEI, I wanted to go all the way. And that's where I thank Simon for that, because he picked it up and just kept running with the same dream I had. I wanted them to take them and graduate. And then I'd like to see us, even my dream later on was to expand the program so that probably we'd have a junior college to help folk grow and develop in, and still maintain good morals and live well, understand something about life.
Okay. I have one additional question just to close it out. What is something you want everyone to know that they may not know already about QEI?
that we are striving to be one of the best schools that it can possibly be. And we want people to recognize us for having that goal and that idea in our minds, that we're trying to provide a special education that's extremely good and would help them fit into life and into their work that they do and the things that they do in the community and in their homes.
Okay, and just to close us out, you are, sir, and what was your role in QEI?
My role there was to get groundwork done. Groundwork and starting off and getting a school, because we started from scratch. Well, I say scratch, but I can take you back a little bit and tell you, even before we got the school started, we looked at people who were having trouble educationally, getting their work and doing what they needed to do. So we recruited folks from Wake Forest to come over and tutor the kids in the afternoon that had trouble. And the NAACP helped us in that area. They provided means for us to be able to provide for transportation, etc. for the kids and help our children get a little better in educationally, so that they would not be flunking or having low grade levels. And so that was a dream I had in mind, and out of it would grow the high school. And then, of course, into the college area. Doing a number of things that it needed to do, and I worked closely with it all while I was there. I conducted the chapels and et cetera, where I could talk to the young folk, talk to them about living, talk to them about right motives and right ideas. So, that was my goal, and that was part of what I wanted to do, and I did it till I retired. Now, one thing I want to add, one of the persons who really jumped in there with me, and that's why Simon and I are close, one of the persons that got in there with me and took on my dream and the idea I had in mind before we ever moved to up on Lansing Drive in Carver Road was Simon Johnson.
For those who have attended Quality Education Academy, also known as QEA, there's simply no other school like it.
No other school in our vicinity offers academic rigor, cultural relevance, high expectations, old school values, and heartfelt love that we receive at QEA. None.
Yes, QEA provides scholarships, honors community legends, and so many other wonderful things. But QEA is a school, first and foremost.
The success at QEA is well documented, but even past that success is the human impact, the confidence in a young person's eyes when they introduce themselves.
The joy of parents who realize that their child will be the first in their generation's family to break a destructive cycle.
QEA thrives by our strong student enrollment, and our greatest strength is you, our parents, and our supporters.
Open enrollment begins January, and our lottery is held in March. Visit www.kiwischools.org to apply online today for the 2022 school year.
Good evening. I'm Ms. Evans, the Enrollment Coordinator and Director of Ambassadors for Quality Education Schools. It is truly a privilege to be a part of a community where parents, teachers, and scholars care for each other and strive to build positive relationships that support academic and social growth. I just love my community, don't you? QEA family and friends, take a moment to show your love and support by sharing a review on Google and QEA's Facebook page tonight. We thank you. And happy holidays from your Quality Education Schools family. QEA, 30 years strong.
Enjoying this wonderful meal. A hard time breaking away from it. To go into the live portion of our program on this evening. And firstly, I would like to recognize a few people in the audience. Of course, we want to our school board. We have a representation of our school board at table 6, if you all could wave for this. And we have our board chair and a few members of the board. Of course, also our CEO. At table 7, if you could wave for us. Thank you so much for your presence. And want to let you know how we will proceed with the unveilings of this year's legends and their accepting remarks. We want to let you know the order that we will go will be the honoring of Mr. Cecil, co-founder Cecil, the honoring from the Stevenson family, the honoring from the March family. So Cecil, Stevenson, March. And you'll go one after the other. We will have a few remarks after that, after which we encourage you to please memorialize the evening at the different areas that you can take photos. We set up about 4 throughout the place. And then we will also actually hang our portraits on this evening. That's something that we've never been able to do the night of. So we're really excited to be able for you to see where your loved one's portrait will be hung in what we call our hallowed halls. So that will be how we will proceed. And so at this time, I would like to call to the stage those that will be giving the accepting remarks on behalf of co-founder Cecil. So if you would welcome them to the stage.
Brother Cecil saw a need, and that need was for more black educators to teach our black children. He always valued education and wanted to establish a formal education system for the black community. He knew it was important for our children to see us in positive roles, to educate them, to teach them what they had been missing from traditional educational settings. All the history omitted in regular school systems would be taught, and students of color would be made aware of all that they could accomplish. Positive role models would make a difference by impacting students' confidence and would motivate them to want to do great things in their own communities. It was in his vision that he saw these students educated through this system would go on to hold careers such as medical doctors, professors, lawyers, and more. He knew based on Proverbs 22:6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. That it was our responsibility to the communities to train up our children so that we could leave them in charge and know that they were ready after we are long gone. He envisioned an elementary, middle, and high school that would do just that. From the time that QEI was established, just starting out in the Carver Road church building to what it is now. 3 schools manifested, QEI, QEA, was important to the community then and is definitely needed now. I am appreciative of all of you that have worked diligently to keep my husband's vision going on.
I wrote a speech. Not that long, I promise. Good evening, executive leadership team, distinguished guests, family, and friends. I am David Stevenson Jr., a 2014 graduate of Quality Education Academy. I first walked into the hallowed halls of QE schools 18 years ago. I often visited Mr. Covington and Coach Black's office because I had a slight problem with curiosity, aka I was very talkative and I had to often write sentences that said I will not disrupt Mrs. Ford's class anymore. But I remember one time I was sitting in the hallway waiting for my sentence writing, and I remember seeing the gold-plated pictures that line the walls in the building up on Carver School Road. I remember asking Mrs. Little, I said, what are these pictures for? Why are they framed? And she said, these are the legacy honorees. And that day, I said, well, hopefully one day I'll be able to do that. And here I am, years later, honoring the matriarch of our family, Mother Lydia Etta Stevenson. Mother Lydia Etta Stevenson was an amazing woman. And growing up, I heard so much about her from my father and my aunts. But most importantly, they always shared that she had a love for Christ. They shared that she would always lead them to church. And in connection with the song by Maverick City, Talking to Jesus, she taught them to talk to Jesus. Her devotion to Christ, her family, and community spoke for her legacy. The late Nelson Mandela shared that education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. The members of Quality Education changed my life. They gave this little boy a vision and helped me to realize that the only person that was in my way was myself. I am very thankful for the life of Mr. Cecil and the vision of him, as well as Mr. Simon Johnson, because without them, I would not be the person that I am today. After leaving QEA, I went on to graduate from Catawba College. Afterwards, I am currently working on my master's degree and will begin my doctoral program in the spring of next year. Today, I work for Appalachian State University as a senior assistant director of admissions, and I owe many of the legacy members that thanks. I owe you thanks, and thank you so much. There are many lessons that we can take from the life of my grandmother. She was often quoted, "Through many toils and snares, I have already come his grace, has brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me on." As life's challenges arise, God's grace will lead us on. Let us never forget the power of our prayers. Let us never forget that God before us, who can be against us. So today, my family continues the vision of Mother Lydia Stevenson. as we honor and push forward the education of future African American children. Thank you.
This is a very exciting night for me. I'm just so excited because there's a whole lot of family here tonight. And with Brother Cecil, family, and Mr. Stevenson just left. I taught him at QEA. I knew then he was going to be good. I knew then. All right. I'm excited, first of all, for my family that decided to honor us here tonight. It's exciting that just to be here, because a long time ago, when they was growing up and attended Carver Road Church of Christ in Bible class, one of the things that they learned was early years to honor their mother and father. That's one of the only laws with a promise. Honor your mother and father and live long in life. And they picked up on that. And thank you guys for honoring me and my wife tonight. I love you guys. I want to just introduce my family. It's so large, I might miss a few names, but we will take care of that. Oldest daughter will be Tanya and Randy. And with Tanya and Randy, we have Dion and Brandon. And with Dion and Brandon, we have Anaya, Amari, Bonte, and Arissa. All right. And let's go back to Anaya. Anaya, when you stand, just Anaya, when you stand for Anaya. Stand for Anaya. Anaya went to QEA. Right. And right now, she's a freshman at Winston-Salem State University. She's my great-grandchild. That's exciting. That's exciting. And next would be Jurena. Jurena and her husband that passed away, Fonte, but he's still going to be in our memories. And my grandson, Jalen Bray. Jalen's friend is Ayana. And he just had a little baby girl 2 weeks ago. Named Sidnard. Got another one added to the family. Okay. And next we have will be Tia. And Tia has 2 children, Avery and Ariana. Are they there? All right. All right. And then there's Tasha Mayfield. Okay. And next we have my youngest daughter, which is Kendra, Dr. Kendra March. Go ahead. Dr. Kendra, where are you? Kendra, you know that I know that you know that you're in charge all the time. If you don't know, she's in charge all the time. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Kendra. This also is a great for me because I was here 20 years ago. 20 years ago, we inducted our son, Kerry Duran March, in the Legacy. He was one of the first one to be inducted in the Legacy program 20 years ago. Now, I've been up here before. This is not my first rodeo. I've been up here before. That's exciting. And another thing, too, that we have is my wife, Martha March, in 2014, she was given an award, still standing award from QA. She attended all the Legacy program, and they gave her an award in 2014, still standing award. And I have it with me tonight, still standing award. And this is great because another thing about the family is my wife was Brother Cecil's private nurse. He was right. Anything the brother Cecil wanted to know about nursing or going to the doctor, he would always get my wife's opinion. He would call me and say, Brother March, I know who you want to talk to. You want to talk to my wife. So anytime he have a doctor appointment, he would call. After the doctor appointment, he would call and get my wife's advice. Now, one time he had surgery. I think he had a heart attack. And he went to Baptist Hospital. And my wife held his hand during the operation. And she kept the Cecil family on a daily and hourly basis how Brother Cecil was doing. Every couple hours she would call Sister Cecil, let her know how Brother Cecil was doing. Thank you, Martha March. We love you. Next is, I taught school at QEA. I retired from the school system, and Salmon taught me into coming out of retirement to work at QEA. Salmon could talk you to anything. But I had a great time at QEA. A couple of people I just want to recognize is Dr. Turner. Dr. Turner was my supervisor, and she would tell me what to do. But one thing about Dr. Turner, she could not ever tell me, Mr. March, Brother March, do this or do that. She always said, Brother March, could you do this? Brother March, can you do that? The reason because her mom and dad taught her how to respect her elders. And that was great. And I would do anything for Dr. Turner. But she always said, Brother March, can you do this? Could you do this? She never would tell me, Brother March, you're going to do this. And that's respect for elders. Thank you, Dr. Turner. And my main man was Simon Johnson. Simon was my mentor, you know. He could talk you to anything. One thing about Simon, he's like, well, I call him a road dog. Because during church time, we have a church retreat for the men. Simon would come by, pick me up, then go by and pick up Brother Covington. We all ride together to the church retreat. We did that year after year after year. Another thing about Simon was he would really tell me different things to do, ask me to do different things. And during the time at QEA and QI just getting started, Dr. Turner, Mr. Covington, and Simon would leave because they had to attend a whole lot of meetings. And every time they would attend a meeting, they would leave me in charge. They would go by, when they were going out of town, they would get a substitute teacher for my class, and I would go in the office. I would see Mr. Covington in the office. Well, I had a good time being in charge. And the first time I noticed I was in charge, Samuel would call me about every 15 minutes. Bob, how you doing? I got it. And the next time he left, I think he called me every hour. I got it. And next time, he didn't call me all. They knew I had it, you know. I enjoyed working in with QEA. And next, what I want to do is just to talk about my wife, my first wife. H. Jackson Brown had 21 suggestions for success. All right, one of the first suggestions is to marry the right person. See, 90% of in success is marrying the right person. Now, in Psalm 37:23, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. And the Lord ordered my steps to marry my wife, Martha Reinhardt March. I thank you for ordering my steps. She's the wind beneath my wings. She's the perfect Christian wife for me. She's the perfect Christian mother for our children. She's the perfect Christian grandmother for all our grandchildren. I know a couple years ago, we went to a family reunion, a class reunion, and it was so funny because the class reunion, I was in charge of the class reunion. It was on my birthday, and I was the MC. So, you know, I had a good time. But we were dancing on the stage, and and I looked around the audience of my class reunion. I looked at other people all around. I told my wife, we're doing real good. You know, I said, we're doing okay, wife. Now I told her one thing. I said, baby, I said, you saved my life. She said, no, Cuddy, you saved my life. And tonight I'm going to tell you how she saved my life. But you got to answer how I saved her life. Okay, first off, she saved my life spiritually. By marrying her, I became a member of the Church of Christ. And my whole family obeyed the gospel and became members of the Church of Christ because of my wife. Also, my mother, at 84 years old, was baptized in the Church of Christ through my wife. That's fantastic. And I guess physically, by her being a nurse, she made sure I went to all my doctor's appointments. No, she made all my doctor's appointments. And she made sure I was at all my doctor's appointments. So I went to my doctor. I would go to my doctor's appointment, and she would drive up too. I said, I got to know. I'll make sure you get the doctor's appointment. And she made sure I did all the follow-ups. Now, if she couldn't come to the doctor's appointment, the doctor would call her on the phone, and Mr. March, this is how Mr. March is doing. I'm in the doctor's office. He's talking to my wife on the phone. And she made sure I stay physically healthy all the time. Thank you, honey. Thank you. Love you. Financially, this is great. Financially, before I married my wife, my total credit score, all three credits, were 300. After I married my wife, the same day, my credit score went up to 800 in one day because I moved. Okay. She taught us how to save, and she taught us how to give. And one thing she said for all of us, you can't outgive God. Thank you. You can't outgive God. Next, everything, I think I see my daughter's up here, but she's still trying to run things. You know, but I got 5 more minutes. Everything I ever wanted and needed, I got it. I'm talking about everything I wanted and needed for my wife. I wanted, I got. I'm gonna go. Okay. Okay. She made sure her family was always first. All right. She always put herself last. Okay. She made sure I dressed nice all the time. She was content. She also honored her mother and father, and my mother and father. And my mother, she would get off from work, go to Knoxville, and take my mom to the doctor. And when my mom became ill, she went out to Knoxville and picked my mom up and brought my mom to our house and took care of my mom. That's the kind of wife she is. She also honored her mom and dad, Thomas and Millie Reinhardt. After they became ill, she took them into her house and took very, very good care of her mom and dad. Thank you. Last thing, a couple years ago, my brother passed away. And after my brother passed away, he did not have any insurance to take care of the funeral. So I knew I was going to take care of myself. At that time, when he passed away, we didn't have a GoFundMe account. So I had to GoFundMe account. So we had a funeral in David County, Knoxville. And so my church members here, they attended the funeral. After the funeral, he was a veteran of the Vietnam War. We buried him in the cemetery in Salisbury, North Carolina. And after a while, after the funeral, we came back home. And after 3 weeks, I kept waiting on the final bill for the funeral. I waited the first week, well, no bill. I waited the second week, no bill. I waited the third week. I said, I'm going to call something wrong. I called the funeral director. I said, look, why you haven't sent me the bill for my brother's funeral? He said, Mr. March, your wife paid that 3 weeks ago. Wow, she paid for my brother's funeral. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, that was great. It seemed like a whole lot of things she did would go unnoticed, but God knew. In closing, thank you. Thank you. Thank God for you. You are the wing beneath my wing. You are the wind beneath my wing. Thank you. I love you. Yeah.
Must have been clothing in my soul to never have seen on your face. You've been content to let me shine. You always walk a step behind. I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. Only a face without a name. I never once heard you complain. Whoa, did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I'd like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. With you as the wind beneath my wings. It might have appeared before my
Thank you so much. All of our legacy honorees. Let's give all of them a round of applause for here. And I wanted to also shout out the artist, the portraiter, Mrs. Alinda Gadsden of Jamali Creations, for coming through every single year with a special one-of-a-kind frame for each and every honoree. And before you leave this evening, I would love for you to be able to see some of those other honorees, just a few. They're in all three of our buildings on both campuses. So a few of them are actually on this main hall outside of the auditorium. We did want to honor some of our recently fallen legends, those that have passed in the last few years. Of course, we weren't able to have an in-person legacy program on last year. And so we do want to take a moment of silence as I read the names of 4 of our most recently fallen legends. We'd like to honor with a moment of silence Mr. Warren Reynolds. Mr. Errol Hines.